Hey guys, today on People Now, country star Miranda Lambert splits with Felker 6 months after their controversial relationship began.
Ariana Grande joins the lineup of performers set to honor the Queen of Soul at Aretha Franklin's funeral.
Jennifer Garner makes her first public appearance since taking Ben Affleck to rehab.
Plus, this week's People gives more insight into Ben Affleck's spiral in the days leading up to his return to rehab.
And Pretty Woman on Broadway star Orfeh tells us about the show everybody's raving about.
It's all today on People Now. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to People Now. Great to see you. If you're feeling kind of that midweek slump, maybe a little, we actually have an exciting birthday to lift your spirits a bit.
Yes, we are celebrating Michael Jackson today on what would have been his 60th birthday. So in honor of the King of Pop, we want to know what's your favorite Michael Jackson song. Is it Thriller, Billie Jean? What about Beat It? You can't forget Smooth Criminal.
This is honestly one of those where you hate to pit them against each other. They're all so good.
We're doing it.
So we'll see what happens in that poll. Vote for your favorite song in our People Now poll, or just tweet us your answer with the hashtag People Now. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. In this week's People cover story, we are honoring the life and legacy of Senator John McCain. John McCain's bravery during his 5.5 years in a Vietnam prison camp cemented his legacy as a war hero and helped him launch a decades-long Senate career. But according to one of his fellow Vietnam veterans, the late senator remained humble about his extraordinary life. Jan Scruggs, founder of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, also known as The Wall, met McCain in 1980, and they were friendly for years. He says the two were once taking a selfie together when McCain told him, quote, "I wish we could trade legacies. You've really accomplished something in life with The Wall. I'm just one of Club 100, aka the U.S. Senate." Scruggs says the two laughed at his remark at the time and goes on to call McCain one of the best politicians, explaining, quote, "He tried to be fair, was a tad temperamental, but a solid citizen." Scruggs, who lives in Annapolis near the Naval Academy, where McCain will be laid to rest this weekend, feels it would be just to have McCain buried there. For more on John McCain, you can pick up a copy of this week's issue of People. It's on newsstands Friday. Now on to this. Miranda Lambert and Turnpike Troubadours Felker have split after 6 months of dating. Sources say the country superstar cut ties with the singer after he, quote, broke her rules. Reps for the duo won't say exactly what caused the split, but their romance has been rocky from the start. Lambert and Felker's relationship heated up in February right before he joined her Living Like a Hippie tour. He then filed for divorce just 15 days after meeting Lambert in person. His jilted wife made her feelings known on social media, causing a firestorm of controversy and commentary online. The Felkers' divorce has since been finalized, and insiders say there's no hope for reconciliation. Meanwhile, Lambert says she's, quote, happily single and working on new music. She recently told the Tennessean, "You've got to take the bad parts and put them on paper and then move on to the happy parts." We'll keep you updated on that on People.com. Ariana Grande will perform at Aretha Franklin's funeral on Friday at Greater Grace Temple in Detroit. Grande joins a star-studded lineup that already includes music powerhouses like Stevie Wonder, Faith Hill, and even Jennifer Hudson. This news comes as fans continue to pay their respects to the late Queen of Soul during 2 days of public open casket visitations at Detroit's Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. Franklin's body was dressed in a red suit and crimson pumps in a gold-plated casket, while gold thread spelled out Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, in the casket's lining. On Friday, Franklin's private service will only be open to friends and family, but will be streamed online. Meanwhile, Taylor Swift also honored the late music legend during her concert at Detroit's Ford Field on Tuesday. Watch this.
So, would we please cut the lights and we'll have a moment of silence for Aretha.
Wow, really powerful hearing that many people just go completely silent. And just before that moment, Swift told concert goers what the Queen of Soul means to her. She said in part, quote, "Words could never ever describe how many things she did in her lifetime that made our world a better place." All right, Andrea Boehlke, more for us in Star Trek.
Yes, we are kicking off Star Treks with a mom of 3 and an LBD. If you don't know what that is, it's a little bed rest.
Yes.
Now you know.
Got it.
Just 1 week after taking ex Ben Affleck to rehab, Jennifer Garner is rocking the red carpet. The actress was all smiles as she posed for photographers at the premiere of her new action film Peppermint on Tuesday night, rocking a little black dress with a long train. She even snuck away from the carpet to sign autographs for eager fans waiting outside. Quite a contrast from where we saw her just 1 week week ago, driving a visibly upset Ben Affleck to a treatment center in Malibu. A source told People that it was Jen's decision to intervene for the sake of their 3 children, Samuel, Serafina, and Violet. But now it's back to work for Garner. Peppermint marks the actress's return to action, a genre she first made her name in with the hit series Alias, which was one of my favorite shows back in the day. She took 6 months off from acting in 2012 to focus on motherhood after her 3rd child, but now she's back in full swing, starring in hits like Dallas Buyers Club and Love, Simon, and the upcoming HBO series Camping. But to her 3 little ones, they don't see a star. She told Extra, quote, "They just want me to come home and be mom." It's very sweet. And stay with us because in just a little bit, we have new information on Ben Affleck's 3rd stint in rehab. Well, moving on to a band who is saying a beautiful goodbye to a good deal of their gear. Maroon 5 is selling a huge chunk of their instruments and equipment that they've used on stage and in the recording studio throughout their successful music career. Almost 200 pieces will be up for sale on Thursday through Techno Empire's Reverb shop, including microphones, guitars, and drum machines. The equipment ranges from the band's earliest days when they were first formed right after high school up until performances from pretty recently. One fan favorite up for grabs is a chrome Shure wireless microphone that lead singer Adam Levine used on the band's 2007 It Won't Be Soon Before Long tour. And you might be wondering why the band is purging their instruments. Well, apparently, new beginnings. Keyboardist and rhythm guitarist Jesse Carmichael said in a statement, quote, "We used all of this gear when we were kids, working hard to establish ourselves as a band. Now we're in a new phase, and we need to clear out what we're not using anymore to make room for the equipment that will help us create what comes next." Hey, sounds pretty reasonable to me. Now I'm just wondering how many Maroon 5 guitars I can fit in my apartment. Probably not many, I live in New York, but anyway. All right, watch this.
My tastes are very singular. You wouldn't understand.
Enlighten me then.
All right, guys, Mr. Gray's realtor will see you now. Jamie Dornan has listed his Hollywood Hills home for a cool $3.2 million. The 2,500 square foot house, built in 1959 and just off the famed Mulholland Drive, features 4 bedrooms, plus a pool and a patio with a fire pit for those LA nights. And for prospective buyers looking for space for a red room, you may have to look elsewhere. This home has a mid-century modern layout with floor-to-ceiling windows and an open floor plan. Looking at this, it's absolutely beautiful. There is tons of natural light, and for fans of the movies, that kitchen does seem to be decorated in at least 50 Shades of Grey. Boom.
Woo!
Hilary Duff is celebrating the Younger season 5 finale with shots of green juice. The star, who is pregnant with her 2nd child, grabbed a, quote, lovely din with co-stars Sutton Foster and Debbie Mazar, as well as Younger's creator Darren Star. The group then appeared on the weekly recap series Getting Younger directly after the show's finale. Hilary wore a loose-fitting blue shift dress with cap sleeves and a scoop neckline. She accessorized with gold heels, matching bracelets, and a yellow and white purse. The star beat the New York City heat by pulling her hair into a top bun, looking very chic. Hilary will welcome her baby girl before the end of the year. She currently shares 6-year-old son Luca with ex-husband Mike Comrie. Can't wait to meet her little girl. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, guys, stay with us. Nick Jonas's mom is showing off her, quote, lack of dance skills and apologizing to Priyanka Chopra's mom. We've got the hilarious video to prove it. Plus, Ben Affleck was reportedly drinking alone for days before his latest trip to rehab. We have all the exclusive details on that.
All right, so in honor of the late Michael Jackson's 60th birthday, we've been asking what your favorite songs are from the King of Pop. So let's take a look at our People Now poll results so far.
I honestly
this is a tricky one, I know. What is it?
Thriller. Okay,
well,
I guess that does.
That's not super, is that super shocking?
Also, Billie Jean coming in second. We have other reactions on Twitter as well. Okay, R.I.P. Happy birthday. Always that smooth criminal that had Billie Jean scared when you and her went to see that Thriller, so you know she had to hurry up out of there and beat it.
Wow.
I like that.
See what
Working
you
it all
there.
in, Maria.
Remember the time. Oh, yeah.
Does it play? No. Michael Jackson is the GOAT and always will be. I don't care what anybody says. Michael Jackson is the greatest entertainer of all time. Happy birthday, Michael Jackson. You gave us so many classics, changed the game. A lot of hashtags there. Absolutely right.
Yes.
It's funny. It's amazing how he continues to be an inspiration for so many artists that still reference him. And anyway.
Yeah, keep voting in our Michael Jackson poll. All right, now take a look at this. Ooh, Get It Mamas. As if Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra's engagement party wasn't already a night to remember, the singer's mom shared a few more intimate moments from the bash, which of course included a little dancing.
Look, I think it's adorable.
It's so cute.
Denise Jonas here posted this video to her Instagram thanking Priyanka's mom for being, quote, patient with my lack of dance skills. The Jonas matriarch visited her future daughter-in-law's home country for the first time along with her husband. Now look at that. I'd say good for her for getting out there and trying.
She's a better dancer than most,
right?
Honestly. Mama Chopra recently gushed about Nick's father on Instagram, writing, "New reason and season for joy." It seems like these families really get along, which is obviously very nice to see.
Yeah, sources say Priyanka fits right in. One insider revealing she has this charisma and energy that draws you to her. She gels so well with his friends and family.
Well, we are certainly loving this couple and very, very excited for the wedding. We've had both of them in, and they're super nice. So I love seeing them both together right now.
I'm excited for this. It kind of feels new.
Yeah.
Like we haven't been, we didn't know a lot about the build-up, and then suddenly there it was, and now we're all for it.
I'm not always rooting for couples. I'm rooting for them.
On to this, guys. Mandy Moore is remembering her late ex-boyfriend, Adam Goldstein, a.k.a. DJ AM, 9 years after his shocking death.
Moore posted a photo to Instagram on Tuesday of Goldstein posing in a sparkly t-shirt. She captioned the intimate image, "9 years, I miss you every day, Adam."
The two had known each other for years, but started dating in early 2007 after reconnecting at a New Year's Eve party in Miami.
A source told People at the time that they were in the beginning stages of getting to know each other, but that they were, quote, very into each other. It's very sweet.
They broke up just 2 months later in March 2007, a mutual decision, according to an insider.
But Moore and Goldstein remained friends despite the split, and she even flew to be by his side after he survived a deadly plane crash in 2008 with Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker.
That was such a remarkable situation there, but less than 1 year later, Goldstein was found dead at the age of 36 in his New York City apartment. He died of a drug overdose, and that's according to CNN.
Following Goldstein's 2009 death, his former fiancée Nicole Richie and many of his other famous friends and loved ones attended his memorial at the Hollywood Palladium.
Meanwhile, this isn't the first time Moore has posted her thoughts about Goldstein.
Yeah, in 2015, she posted this photo of the late DJ in action, writing in part, "This guy, one of a kind, been on my mind a lot lately. I can still hear your laugh, and oh man, I miss your hugs more than anything."
At the time of Goldstein's death, Moore told TMZ in a statement that she was, quote, absolutely heartbroken. She went on to add, at the time, Adam radiated a contagious exuberance for life and also personified the very definition of a true friend. To say that he will be missed beyond words is an understatement.
All right, our thoughts go to his family. Moving on to this, Adam Lambert is setting the record straight about a viral video he accidentally shared of his buddy Sam Smith. Take a look.
I don't like Michael Jackson, but this is a good start.
Oh. All right, earlier in August, the duo were boating with friends near Catalina when the American Idol alum unintentionally shared a clip in which Smith said he doesn't like the King of Pop while they were listening to Human Nature.
The video has since been removed, but fans were quick to capture the footage and share it online, and Sam was immediately met with backlash.
Of course, and Lambert exclusively tells People that the post was an honest mistake, saying we had been out at sea all day, we had had some champagne, I got home, I was like, I want to post a picture of my new Gucci sunglasses.
He went on to explain that he chose the video because it showcased his sunglasses, and he didn't listen to it when he posted it.
Big mistake, apparently. By the time Lambert realized his mistake, it was too late. He knew it didn't sound right out of context, so he took the whole thing down.
And Lambert went on to say, it was a sliver of a fuller conversation that was actually quite interesting. I think people need to give him a break.
Adam reached out to his pal, who immediately accepted his apology, doesn't think it's a big deal, so all is well between the two singers, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, and I don't know, taken out of context, who knows what the fuller conversation was? I'm sure that as soon as he turned the sound on and listened, he regretted it and immediately took it down.
He can have his own opinion.
So you gotta be careful with social media and what you're posting.
There you go.
All right, we move on to this. In this week's issue of People, an exclusive source says that Ben Affleck was on a downward spiral in the days leading up to his return to rehab.
The source reveals he was, quote, in bad shape and had barely been eating and had not showered, but that he wanted to go to rehab and cooperated.
Affleck entered rehab on August 22nd, with a second source telling People he knew he needed help and was vocal about it.
So by his side was ex Jennifer Garner, of course, who arrived at his home with an addiction therapist at her side. Garner drove the actor to a Malibu treatment center the same day.
An insider telling People that the entire situation has been very stressful for Garner, but that her focus remains squarely on the couple's 3 children.
The source adds, quote, what Jennifer ultimately cares about is Ben's sobriety and whether she can rely on him to co-parent. She's trying to keep the father of her children alive.
In the issue of Friday, another source says Affleck's issues run far deeper than just addiction, noting that he's been famous most of his life and has never really been alone.
The source adds, quote, "I think Ben struggles with being two people, being the family man and also having that need to be the consummate cool kid."
Pick up this week's issue of People for the entire Ben Affleck story.
Well, guys, the iconic 1990 movie Pretty Woman is getting the musical treatment, and missing this one would definitely be a mistake.
Yeah, a huge mistake. I sat down with Tony nominee Orfeh, who's taking the stage as Hollywood Boulevard BFF Kit, to talk about how bringing the show to Broadway is bringing a whole new audience to the story 30 years after its premiere. Take a look.
I really do think it's going to usher in a whole new set of fans because the people I see outside the stage door are significantly younger. It's not the, people my age and older or a little bit younger because we were teens when the movie came out.
Yeah.
So now we're getting a bunch of tweens to, early 30s, and then you have the older people who saw the movie and were, young when they saw the movie, but I think it's definitely going to usher in an entire new era of people, and they're just having the time of their lives. They get it, they're into it, they're just so happy when I see them. So I think it's just when it's a universal story like this, it just permeates through everything,
The movie's obviously iconic, especially for certain lines and moments. Was it important to hit all of those lines and big moments? What was that like for you and the cast?
I think, look, when a movie is that iconic, and I know you haven't seen it, but there are...
I will now.
You have to now. I think that when it's a movie that is that popular and that iconic and that kind of seeped into the zeitgeist, I think that if you leave out certain lines, it will upset the public because they're expecting and they're waiting for those lines.
What lines were most important to hit?
I can't say one of them, so we'll leave that in the ethers. But things like big mistake, big, huge.
Yeah.
I have to go shopping now. I mean, it just wouldn't be the same if you came to the show and didn't have that moment.
And fans of the movie may notice Kit has a brand new look, and the inspiration comes from somewhere very, very close to Orfeh. Check it out.
The really good news is that Jerry Mitchell and Greg Barnes is the costume designer and Jerry Mitchell's the director, obviously. We've worked together before. We did Legally Blonde together, all of us. And Jerry kept telling Greg, I want Kit to be an offshoot of what Orfeh wears on her day-to-day life. So
that's incredible. That means that you must have great fashion.
I guess I do. Yes. Okay, it's only taken me 87,500 years. But yeah, Jerry kept saying, I want it more like Orfeh. I want Kit to look more like Orfeh's wardrobe. So it's a very heightened sort of, performance. Like if I were to do a concert, you would most likely see me in one of Kit's outfits or some interpolation of that outfit. So, I think that was really cool. So I'm very comfortable in the wardrobe because it's close to me, but it works for Kit. So it's a great marriage.
Can't wait to see this. Pretty Woman, the musical, is playing now at the Nederlander Theater in New York. Do not miss it.
This is Jennifer Lawrence in People. This is Jennifer photobombing Taylor Swift and Sarah Jessica Parker and Liam Hemsworth, proving that while we all love the fashion of the red carpet, it's people who steal the show. People. The details make the story.
All right, let's take one last peek at our People Now poll. We've been asking what your favorite Michael Jackson songs are in celebration of what would have been the King of Pop's 60th birthday.
So, Thriller takes the win here, guys. 36% or so Billie Jean.
I think, I would have voted for Billie Jean. I can probably still vote. I'm gonna still vote.
You can still vote. Do it.
Maybe there's hope to take it number one.
Smooth Criminal, third place, and then fourth place.
What's your vote?
Beat It. No, I would go. I would go Thriller. Come on.
Yeah.
Just for the excuse to do the dance.
Wait, let's see this.
Yeah, that was it. That's all you get. Do you remember when Michael Jackson died?
I was actually in Paris with my family, and I remember people laying out flowers and memorials for him and everything. And it was obviously a big deal, especially over there too.
Yeah, it was this worldwide event. We were on vacation here in the States, and I remember getting a text about it, and it was as if everyone had gotten an alert at the same time.
Yeah.
You started hearing people talk about it and saying, "Oh my gosh, MJ's dead" and all that. It was just such a big deal. And at the the time I was in LA, I remember our office was like a block from the cemetery where he was laid to rest, and it was just this media frenzy out there in the days leading up to that, you know, the service and everything that happened. Anyway, it's just one of those. It's one of those rare things that a pop star reaches that level that everyone kind of remembers where they were.
It's one of those like iconic moments when someone passes away. Even like you look at a legend like Aretha Franklin, and everyone's gonna remember kind of where they were. And Michael Jackson, not to obviously compare the two, but like everyone remembers where they were usually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting also with the, speaking of things that are happening now with Aretha Franklin, as we mentioned, that funeral service, as people are paying tribute to her, is going to be streaming live online as well, so people can be a part of that. All right, we're going to be back with another question of the day tomorrow. Tune in for that. And coming up tomorrow, Jack Ryan star Dina Shahabi is filling us in on the new Amazon series and revealing what it was like to work with John Krasinski. You do not want to miss that.
Yes, thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from country star Hunter Hayes. Enjoy.
Bye, guys.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Hunter Hayes, and this is one last thing. The last show I binge watched, Easy, Wild Wild Country. That is bananas. My last big splurge. So, I'm a bit of a car guy. I've always wanted a Mini Cooper. Like, right when I moved to Nashville, I found, like, my dream Mini Cooper. And it was one of those things where it was like, man, now's not really the time to, like, screw it, I'll buy it. The last time I was starstruck, Garth, still. Yeah, last time I saw Garth, he remembered me. Was Garth cool, normal, human, like, / superstar with a cape and a giant, you know, Garth written on the back.